Hello and welcome. You're on Friday Double Bill, India's first full-length film commentary show. This is where we look at the top releases from both Hollywood and Bollywood. My name is Mayank Fahad. That's Fahad Samar.
Hello. So let's find out if Shaukeens is about dirty old men or is it just a dirty picture?
The Shaukeens, produced by Akshay Kumar, is a comedy about three old men who are quite desperate to be with women. Their first plan is to go on an all-guys trip to Bangkok, which fails. They decide on Mauritius. As it turns out, the girl whose house they're renting is pretty much a hot bikini model. This character is played by Lisa Hayden. The three horny old men naturally start hitting on her one by one. These lead characters in the movie are played by Anupam Kher, Anu Kapoor and Piyush Mishra. The film is directed by Abhishek Sharma, whose first film was the hilarious Fas Gaye Re Obama. This one is supposed to be an official remake of Basu Chatterjee's 1982 film Shaukeens.
बड़ी सही जगह लगती है गश्ती खाना है
You know, Mayank, I was deeply apprehensive and I told you as much about going and squandering 2 hours watching this film. This whole notion about three old men, lusting after a young Lisa Hayden sounded reprehensible to me. But then when I actually went to a single screen theater and I saw it, I must say I was tickled pink. I was laughing all through the film, much to my own dismay. I mean, this is completely politically incorrect cinema. It's ageist, it's sizist, it's sexist. It's basically not a film that one should really be endorsing. Having said that, I just had such a great time because I realized that the director has a lot to do with it. I mean, Abhishek Sharma is obviously an intelligent young filmmaker. Tigmanshu Dhulia, who's written the story and dialogue, has really, again, is a man with a certain integrity and intellect. So when this all came together, and then, of course, there was Akshay Kumar, who was busy sending himself up, spoofing himself, just having a great laugh at his own expense. And I think as a result, even the slightly, wobbly bits about the film, if you'll excuse the turn of phrase, actually turns out to be quite entertaining. I certainly was quite amazed.
Well, you said Tigmanshu Dhulia has written the film, but quite clearly this film was already written back in 1982. And I remember watching Basu Chatterjee's Shaukeens when I was a kid. Of course, not when it was released in 1982. But, I found it to be quite a cutesy film in its own very idiotic or silly sort of way, because these are old men. That one, of course, had A.K. Hangal in it, Ashok Kumar in it, and Utpal Dutt in it. And at no level do these people look the leery, lecherous types in general. Or at least that's not the perception you had as a film goer going into a film like Shaukeens. Now, their equivalent in the Shaukeens is Anupam Kher, who on a very good day can be a very good actor or a great actor. Of course, he appears on every Friday in the theatres. We've discussed this before. There's Anu Kapoor, I think, who's a natural gem. And then there is Piyush Mishra, who, because of his theatre background, he tends to, over-emote sometimes, tends to overdo certain scenes in terms of his theatrical or stage worthiness. But he can be great on his great day as well.
He was great, absolutely.
Right. So now these three actors couldn't be better cast in terms of the, if you look at it from who they're taking it, back from. But, and you also have the script. It's already been made. So I'm thinking, where did they go wrong? Because frankly speaking, Fahad, I could not take this movie beyond 30 to 40 minutes. And we'll get into details of why. And of course, you can tell me why you felt that it was the greatest thing ever made as well. Well, then carrying on, let's dig deeper into the OMG or the oh my God moments from this film.
Mayank, now that we firmly established that you didn't quite have as much fun with this film as I did, the OMG moment really is about the fact that this is a contemporary Shaukeens. You're saying, when I say Tigmanshu Dhulia wrote this film, it's not a faithful remake. I mean, this is a contemporary take on this film. And obviously, the fact that it talks about old people having sexual urges, the fact that they want to sublimate those urges is itself a very refreshing topic. And the fact that they can do it with a lot of humor and wit and candor, I thought was very entertaining and refreshing. Over and above that, I mean, to have Rati Agnihotri, who played the original femme fatale, albeit a very sweet, sweet and cuddly version in the old original version, she plays this woman who's decided that no more sex, no more thing, and she's turned to to religion, thereby denying Anupam Kher, her husband, any sort of conjugal pleasures. So, so there's obviously justifications for all this randy nonsense, and I just love the fact that they've sort of sent up people visiting Bangkok as this complete anathema. The very fact people go to Thailand is going to be dubbed as having deeply ignoble intentions, and I wonder what the Thai government has to say about all the money they spend on Thailand promotion, and in one fell swoop this film has just completely decimated that.
Well, quite clearly we saw two different movies, or at least we saw it from two completely different perspectives. I could not for the life of me figure if these are really molesters or, potential rapists, led out in the loose in Mauritius instead of Thailand. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that while these are the three lead characters, the whole film is based on them, but suddenly this movie becomes a movie produced by Akshay Kumar, starring Akshay Kumar, who plays Akshay Kumar,
yes.
And the reason is, of course, I think we should let our viewers know about this. The reason is that the girl who all these three old men are hitting on is an Akshay Kumar fan, who has an Akshay Kumar pillow, who has an Akshay Kumar poster. I mean, there is so much of Akshay Kumar in this movie that I thought that should have just have been him. It took away from the story of these three guys, and perhaps one more layer to exactly what they're doing would have helped me enjoy the film more.
So what Tigmanshu Dhulia has obviously done is he's taken the premise of Shaukeens, the original Shaukeens, and married it with Guddi, the Jaya Bachchan star, where she's fixated with Dharmendra, who's a superstar. So you've got a wonderful amalgam of the two, and this is an homage to that kind of cinema, which is why, in my opinion, this is a damn good film.
But wait, we are talking about Jaya Bachchan here, or Jaya Bhadri as she used to be at the time of Guddi. Here we're talking about Lisa Hayden. Lisa Hayden actually gets a film offer from Akshay Kumar in this movie, and she says, I cannot act. And I think that was the most truthful moment in the entire The Shaukeens. She really can't act. I'm sorry,
I couldn't agree with you more. As I said, this is about three dirty old men. It's about Akshay Kumar. Lisa Hayden plays Lisa Hayden. God bless her, and may she continue to play Lisa Hayden, because I'm very unlikely that she can transcend that.
Well, at the end of the day, this is a sex comedy. It is supposed to be sexist. I don't want to sound politically correct, but these are three men who just seem like rapist, molester types to me. And then there is this whole Akshay Kumar factor. He's the producer who's made an entire Shaukeens remake about himself. Between these two sets, or two scripts as it turns out, I didn't know where to look. I was actually looking at the exit door throughout the film. So it's a pure Peko from my side.
Mayank, shame on you. I watched this in a cinema hall, surrounded by young girls, families. Everybody was having a gala time, as was I, and I'm delighted to endorse this film and say, watch it in a theatre. You can watch it with your family. There's no problem. Just have a good time. Shaukeens, go for it.
All right, that was Friday Double Bill for you. Leave your comments under this particular segment. Tell us what you thought of the show. Tell us what you thought of the movies.